so today I'm gonna show you how I did my shoulder pads for my Mecha 02 cosplay. So I hope you like it, and here's how I did it.
Well, first I create a pattern before put it into the foam. So this time I didn't do any pattern thing. I just play around with an already existing pattern. This pattern was from Kamui Cosplay, so I took that pattern and do some changes in the length and a little bit on the shape. So I took that pattern and then just trace it into the foam with a pen, and then as you can see I just took a knife and take out the shape. I try to have straight cuts. I'm not really good at that, but that's what I try to do. Then to have smoother edges, I went with my Dremel and moved it around until I have like a smooth surface, so it was easy to glue. Then I took my Conctact Cement and started putting in the places that I'm gonna glue. So as I explained before, this Conctact Cement need to be put in the top surface you wanna bond, and then after a while, like around 15 minutes, it's a little bit dry and you can put it together and have some chances to play. I also use the heat gun because, well, for me this was a messy process, but the heat gun helped me to shape it a little bit while I was gluing. Then I needed to add some details to have some volume, so I figured out some shapes that will give me like kind of the appearance like the reference had. I know these shoulder pads aren't as similar as the design that I was following, but since it's my first armor, I went with something that was a little bit easier for me. I took the Dremel, and this time I wanted smooth edges too, but I also wanted to have like an inclination, not just like a flat piece of foam. I wanted like an hexagon that then melted into the other shape, so that's why I tried to Dremel. Then I trace my second hexagon because I'm gonna use two in different sides, and I look a little bit how my other detail is going to look like, but that will come later. So now we are doing just the same thing, having our second hexagon, trying to fit the shape we want to, then Dremel a little bit. This time was kind of faster. I think like you get some experience after you do your first part, and your second part you know a little bit how to do things better. Now I trace like the shape of the hexagon into the base of the shoulder pad, so I know where to apply the glue, and I just apply my Conctact Cement in both surfaces. So I will let it dry for some minutes and then I will come back to this later. I also have like this kind of diamond shape that I'm doing, so I Dremel this, trying to give it some kind of inclination, and when I'm happy with the shape I just clean my hands and continue Dremeling the next one probably. I know that you have noticed like when you Dremel you have like a lot of dust, like my hands are a little bit gray because it's the dust that you create when Dremeling, so I really recommend to use something like a mold mask to protect yourself, especially the ones that has a filter to breathe. That will be awesome. And when you are gluing, these glues also have like a strong smell, so it's preferably that when you do that you do it in an area where you have some kind of ventilation. That will be the healthier way for you. And if you can do that, well, at least try to let it dry in a place where you have the ventilation. So when it's done and I already glue my two parts together and start putting the glue for my diamond shape, so I follow the same process, just apply the glue, wait some minutes, and then flack, it's done. It's put it together and it looks kind of gorgeous for me. Like, I love how it's looking. I know it's not as similar to the design that I was following, but I try to do something that I would feel proud, but also I could do it. Like, if you want to push yourself more to have like the exact shape you want, that's good too, but if you can do it, that's good too. Like, cosplay is also about to have fun, so try to do the best you can, and then maybe in the next one you will learn and will be able to do something more awesome. Now I'm going with my next final detail, that is like this circle shape that I have, like a normal kind of. I dream a lot here because I really want to create a different volume here, so that's why I keep dreaming and dreaming. Then I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna trace this shape in the base and then apply glue to both parts. And I just use the same glue, that is Conctact Cement. There is different variations of this and brands, so this is the one that I could find here close to me, so you can find it in Home Depot or Canadian Tire. They have always this kind of thing. So now that my volume parts are there is just one small part that I wanna do, but the problem is that my foam is pretty thick and I'm not gonna order some other type of foam just for this. So since I want a thinner foam, I'm just gonna cut this out, and as you see, that is a little bit hard. It's not gonna have a smooth surface, but because it's a small part, it's not that hard to just cut it into half, and as you can see, like, the difference is a lot, and that's what I wanted. I really didn't want like a thick part. I want this little tiny part that will make just a little small volume difference, but that will look awesome. So it was easy to glue together and easy to give it shape because, well, it's not so thick. And then as you can see, I do the same, just trace the shape into the base so I will know where to put the glue. And also, to help with the volume difference that I want to create, I'm using my iron welder, I think is the name, to create a different volume. This will look like it's engraved, and it will create more depth between the parts without really having to have a thicker part. So you can use this technique also to create some depth, but when you don't really want a volume difference. And when it's right, you just have to put your part there. Like right now, I'm putting the part that I did before while I wait to the other side to dry. And still, while I'm waiting, I'm not really good at waiting, as you can notice. I'm starting to trace some details. I'm gonna use the iron welder here too, so I could have the depth that I've been using before in other parts of this cosplay. And it's pretty cool, like when you use the iron welder to do this, it's kind of fun to do it because it's just like relaxing, almost like painting. But make sure that your iron welder is really hot when you are doing this, and also for the smell that this releases when you are doing it, it's better to have a ventilated area to do it. Now when it's done, I'm just gonna put like this filler in the parts that I want to make like kind of smoother, or the holes that I find in the foam piece that I just made. So you can just do that. These fillers, there is many different types. There is also wood filler. I don't remember what kind of filler is this, but all of them will work fine because, well, they are just made to fill holes. So just make sure you follow the instructions when you are using this kind of material. Like some of them says like you have to use gloves and maybe a mud mat, so make sure you follow that. And well, after I sound my filler, I'm starting to seal my foam piece so I can start painting after this. The way I seal my foam parts usually are with wood glue. I spread, as you are seeing, one layer of wood glue, then I wait, and 3 layers later you will see that it's shiny and it's pretty smooth and it's ready to be painted. So my Zero2 parts are usually white base, so that's why I start with my white paint. I'm usually doing 3 layers. The first one, as you can see, has like a lot of holes left, like it doesn't look like an uniform painted. So that's why I apply a second layer, and the third one is just in case sometimes there are some imperfections. Sometimes it's not really necessary, but I still apply a third layer. As you can see, like with the second layer, like some places are filling and you start seeing that everything is becoming like a more uniform white color. Now that the painting is done, it looks gorgeous. Like, I know there are some imperfections, but that's how it will keep going. So now I'm adding my red painting in the places that, well, you need the red painting. So I love the contrast between red and white. I think it's beautiful how it looks. I'm also painting like the red under. I know that you can see that I didn't paint like in the bottom part like everything white, but I paint the red just in case, like maybe because it has some inclination that it is not over my body. When you do the photo shoot, it will notice. That's what I did. I wasn't sure if it was worthy. Then I create an orange color with the paintings that I have, because, well, I didn't have an orange paint. And well, my parts are kind of done now. It looks beautiful, but I want to create like some details or volume difference. So to do this, I create like a darker red and apply it where I did the engraving with the soldering iron. This will create more depth. I am also adding like a little bit of this paint at the end of. So I spread also the painting with my fingers to help me create some shadows over this part. I can't explain really why I do that. It's just like to create some variation in the color to make it look like a little bit more realistic or interesting. And if you compare like without the shadows and with the shadows, you will say like, hey, with the shadows look cool. So as you can see, it's something easy to do that you just do it and it looks awesome. So that's how I did my shoulder pads, and I'm very proud of them.
Thank you for watching. I hope you really like it, and if you like it, don't forget like to subscribe and like this video. For me, it was an awesome experience to try to do this cosplay. It was something big for me. Maybe for some of you it's not, but for other people it could be awesome. And I also have our social media that you can follow me. So here are my links for my social media. So I hope you enjoy and keep watching my videos. Thank you.